What's up, everybody? This is Incog.
And Broder.
Yes, and we are back. Which
Oh, yes.
we said we would be.
Except Incog got his name changed from Incognito.
That's
Incog.
rude. That's rude.
What you did there.
True. Anyway,
Most pointless name change, but I'll wear.
It's not a pointless name change. Who wants numbers in their name?
Terrible name change, but continue.
Okay, anyway. We're back to talk about Group A, B, C, and D. All the little pieces of information that you'll need to know going into the knockout stages this week.
And basically we're just gonna cover like who came first and second respectively in their groups. And of course, like everyone's favorite, the little upsets that happened during the group and little influences that made the people finish first and second.
So without further swag, let's dance. Get straight into it with Group A, where Samson White and Android Gaming are progressing, which wasn't that surprising. I don't know, Broda, if you think that was at all surprising.
Well, Samsung White won every game, so hashtag called it. It was, yeah, like, to be fair, it was basically just a group, like, it was the David and Goliath's group, as they appropriately named it. I mean, in that group, there was only one real upset, and that was the AHQ taking a win on EDG and forcing a tiebreaker.
Well, the tiebreaker was quite interesting. Granted, EDG did end up winning that. However, Dark Passage didn't perform. Called it. Not to be that guy, but yeah.
Group A was pretty obvious.
Whoopsie! Yeah, okay, to be fair, it was.
To be fair, the AHQ did put up a good fight, and like EDG choked quite a bit in that group.
They did, I must say. They definitely shouldn't have lost so significantly. Granted, they only did lose to AHQ and obviously then Samson White.
I don't know, dude. We could actually say some of the performances in that group were a bit shocking. I mean, even in the games that they did win, like they didn't perform.
Yeah.
Let's be very honest here.
Yeah, they weren't as dominant as I think everyone expected them to be.
Everyone must know.
So on to Group B. Let's see. Who went through? Of course, yes. This is the group where TSM choked against SK Gaming to have to face Samson, I believe White in the quarterfinals. I.e., chances are they're going home.
I really don't understand this group, because if you think about it, there was TSM, Starhorn, Royal Club. I mean, Taipei and SK, we had high hopes for Taipei Assassins. They should have done a lot better, but...
Yeah, well, they won 5, so they should have done significantly better.
Sure, it was actually pretty atrocious. I mean,
okay.
Like, of all the people to choke against, SK Gaming...
Yeah, I know, especially because they had such a shitty performance. Granted, Sven Skaren was banned for being a cunt.
That's completely relevant. Hashtag, I'm putting in a beep for that, Josh.
That's right.
And TSM did take a win on Starhorn Royal Club.
So, but they managed to choke against SK
Gaming of all teams.
It pretty much means they're going home in the quarterfinals. That's pretty much my conclusion to that.
Unless like that 0.1% of the world's greatest upset.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Although, like, I don't know, Wild Turtle versus Imp is not a...
Yeah, it's not a good
It's not even a fight, let's be fair.
Yeah. Anyway, Group C.
Moving on swiftly, Group C.
Group C was very interesting, actually. For one, Samson Blue was not as dominant. Granted, they won pretty much all their games, so they lost to Fnatic.
Samsung Blue only dropped one game, but the fact was, the games that they did win wasn't like wins, if you want to call them that.
It wasn't Samson White face raping everyone. That's what it wasn't.
Pretty much. It was just Samsung Blue, like, taking the victory at the end. It wasn't okay, we'll start this game out and just snowball. And
then the all important hashtag can't get last hit on Nexus to lose the game Fnatic. That was crazy.
that was probably one of the best games I've ever watched in my life, to be perfectly honest. It was but I'm sorry, but like it's happened, I guess. You know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fnatic's definite favorites, but they're out.
Didn't perform really. And LMQ did perform, and then they sort of didn't perform, and then I don't know. This group was pretty much actually, if you think about it, none of these teams actually performed. They didn't live up to the hype. I guess they did, but like I don't know. I watched it and didn't feel like holy shit. It's like four Samson White teams playing. It was like
it was
scruffy and scrappy.
It was like watching, it was like watching Gold League fight it out. It was never. If you think about it, it wasn't like a LoL game where one team like played skillfully, the other team played to their strengths, and then they wound up meeting in like a pretty good like duel. It was just let's go fight it out and see what happens. And the picks that came through for some of the teams were a bit shocking. I mean, like SOAS for instance is not comfortable in Rumble yet. That same with LMQ.
Oh yes, they did. Yeah, that is actually a thing.
And
those guys don't actually play Rumble.
They don't really play the character. I mean, then you watch how they get punished. The jungler would just camp top lane, and he would be punished so hard. Get the lane snowballing, it was ridiculous.
Jumping to Group D quickly to actually add to that is how Kaboom Esports banned against Wicked and raped Wicked, and then subsequently won the game to pretty much knock out Alliance.
That was crazy.
that was like probably one of the biggest upsets.
To be fair, though, it wasn't just Kaboom. The sheer fact that Froggen misplayed that entire game.
I suppose. But
there were two or three instances where he would jump in YOLO swag and just get popped straight away. It was ridiculous.
I don't know, but then also speaking about Group D, Cloud9 are the first North American team to ever, well, as far as I'm aware, to ever beat a Korean team.
No, wrong.
How's that wrong? Who beat?
Wait, no, you're right.
I am right. I know.
Right,
I'm right.
You're right.
I know I'm right.
No, CLG beat them.
No, who? When?
Yes,
what?
yes. CLG's beaten them. CLG has beaten a Korean team.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken.
Dubious. Anyway.
No, it's been the two upsets were the first one was Gambit Gaming. They beat a Korean team.
Oh yes,
back when they were Moscow 5.
Okay,
and
yes,
then it was what's the normal mistaken CLG.
Okay,
then Fnatic, and now C9. So
hashtag Fnatic are European, brother. Get it?
I know, but just hashtag recent beat.
Get your facts straight. Hashtag
beaten beat. Says the man who was wrong in the first place.
Hey, shut your whole mouth. I'll just edit it out.
You can fanboy now because C9 made it through.
I know, yes. I don't know. C9 performed pretty well actually. Their win against Alliance was a bit creepy. It was basically one giant chess game.
Pretty much. And then the Alliance comeback in the second game was pretty legit.
Yeah, and then Alliance lost to Kaboom Esports.
That's what I love the most. Alliance comes back, beats C9, beats Nodge and White Shield, and then chokes like a boss.
Yeah, I know.
That was incredible. Right up where LMQ like win the first two games and then just choke the rest of the tournament. I suppose like it's pressure, I understand, but chokes are real.
Yeah. And finally, what's happening in the quarterfinals? Predictions, Mr. Broder.
Ooh la la.
Mr. Broder, what are the predictions?
So first things first, let's just lay out the teams for everyone to hear. It's going to be Samsung White versus TSM. Then Samsung Blue versus C9.
Stahli Club against Edward Gaming. And Nigel White Shield versus OMG. So, Broder, verdict on the first game, Samsung White and TSM.
I'm going to go with TSM. No!
Said nobody ever.
Samsung White.
Yeah.
Unless TSM like activates solid man mode,
I'm pretty
whips out God mode cheats, and starts the game with like 10k gold advantage.
I'm pretty sure Jesus is gonna have to come down and beat those Koreans.
I'm terribly sorry, but Samsung White is just so unstoppable right now. It is
quite scary actually.
It's pretty scary to be like imping and pawn in the mid lane is just ridiculous. Yeah. You know what? It's a Samsung White clear victory. I mean, do you agree or disagree?
No, I tend to agree. As much as I don't want a Korean team to just ruffle everyone, yeah. That's pretty much going to happen.
Yeah.
What will be interesting if Samsung White win and oh no, Cloud9's in the next game. Damn. Okay, that's unfortunate.
It's Cloud9 against Samsung Blue Limbs.
Yeah, I know. Actually, you know what? That's a closer game. In my opinion, it's a closer game than Samsung White and TSM.
Guys, I feel the same. I'm sitting here with with the sheet of the quarterfinals, and I'm looking at that group, only that group, and thinking, wow, this is the 50-50 moment.
Based on how Samsung Blue have been performing as compared to what they were hyped up to perform, I think Cloud9 has a chance.
I think I completely agree with you, actually, but the sheer fact that C9, I mean, sure they beat White Shield and they beat Alliance, but the fact is Alliance and White Shield came back to beat them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
And these are best of threes, so...
Oh, yes, yeah, so pretty much you've got to be consistently good.
You have to, yes. And I suppose if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be C9. They are really, really good. I mean, the mechanics as players, the way they play is just amazing. But unfortunately, it's still a Samsung Blue, you must understand. I mean, it's still a Korean team. Their precision is just amazing. The way they play, the freezes, the way they push the lane so they can gain the advantages. I really think it's unstoppable force versus immovable object here.
Yeah.
But your verdict in Cogswag.
I don't want to say Samsung Blue.
Because the fanboy in you.
I don't want to do it. But I'm going to have to say Samsung Blue. Samsung Blue for the win.
I actually want to. I was going to say Samsung Blue, but I actually want to change my choice now.
No, hashtag. I'm gonna go full crumbs and go Cloud9. I'm saying Cloud9.
I'm going Cloud9 as well.
Hashtag Cloud9.
Purely because Samsung White has never beaten Samsung Blue.
No, that's not the thing.
And I want Samsung White to win the tournament, and I'm scared if they meet Samsung Blue, they're gonna lose.
And then the final two groups.
Woo!
Yeah.
Stahli and Royal Club versus EDG.
And Nigel Whiteshield versus OMG. Yeah.
I feel the Starhorn game is Royal Club's.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The way they performed, EDG. I understand EDG said, look, in the groups we're only focusing on the other two teams. But the fact is, I mean, if they ignored Samsung White completely and focused on the other two teams, they shouldn't have dropped a game to AHQ.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So I also agree with Stahli and Royal Club going through there.
And Stahli and Royal Club just played in the group stages. They were amazing. They played really, really well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Stahli.
Yeah, I agree. And then the last game.
Narjan White Shield.
I actually don't think Narjan. I don't know.
I feel like OMG's.
Yeah, they also looked very sloppy. Like they got behind and they didn't quite know what to do. They sort of just lost it. I'm gonna go with OMG in that game. And you agree?
I just want to double check now. I think OMG only lost 2 of their games, didn't they?
Inform you now. OMG. They lost 3 of their games.
They lost 3 games.
Yeah.
Like I said, they dropped 2 to Samsung Blue and 1 to LMQ.
Yes. No?
Clearly on that.
Yeah.
And then Narjan also but it comes in the case where, OMG dropped games to Samsung Blue, of course. But, Narjan White Shield was dropping games to Alliance and to C9.
Yeah, I get.
And that's the number 1 and the number 2 seeds from Europe and America, so
yeah.
I almost feel that Narjan actually had a tougher time. Maybe if, again, but it was due to consistency, so maybe if they show up on the day, and if they pick up a game that they just keep rolling, but I feel if they lose the first game, OMG will probably take it.
Probably. Yes, I'd agree with that, because OMG seemed, they were terrible. Their first 2 games, they literally didn't pitch. On the first day of the groups for OMG, they just weren't there. They didn't exist. And they did really, really well to actually come back and win 3 games to go through. So I'm going to go with OMG. I don't know about you.
I think I'm going to go with OMG as well, actually. It's just, I understand that Narjan played against the number 1 and number 2 seeds, but it's almost like OMG on the way back was just, okay, well, we're here now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So,
I
moving
believe-
through, that means the semi-finals are going to line up with Samsung White on like completely undisputed on us.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us are going C9 and option 2.
And then for the second set of semis, I believe it will be Stahli Royal Club and OMG. Obviously, this is subject to our opinion.
The subject. This is literally just draft.
This is literally just our opinion. So if you disagree or agree, you can let us know by commenting below. And don't go hating on our speeches. We do apologize if we've offended anyone.
I'm pretty sure Josh will edit all of it.
No, I won't. I'll leave it in for madness.
Except for the first word. We can take that one out.
Okay, yeah, it's probably that's
a better plan.
Anyway, so
keep it PG.
Hit us up with a subscribe and
give the video a like.
Stay thirsty. I don't know. I think that's a thing.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. So I hope you all catch your quarterfinals, and next week we can drop down the semis, and hopefully our results come through. Trust.
#enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.